What is up? S.J.F. Productions here, back at it again with another live. This time it's not the live show, it's the origins of how I created the character of J. Falcon. So comment down below which of you has seen this, because I don't want y'all to miss the origin story on how I came up with this character. So please comment down below and let me know. Just going to give y'all a few minutes to come back in. I'm back at it again because I couldn't cover it in the last video because it was strictly the live show. And so now I'm going to go back at it again. Can y'all hear me? If y'all can, that's great. So I'm back at it again. Waiting for more people to So before I get started, I just want to say that I'm here today to tell y'all about the origin story of how I created the character of J. Falcon back in 2015. 2015 was a bit of a rough year for me because I was going through a lot of stuff. I was in high school. I was in a video editing class, and we were encouraged to create our own characters and to think of names and stuff like that. And so during that process, in the class, we wrote down a bunch of we had to practice writing down a bunch of names and piecing them together for character ideas, because that was one of the warm-ups that we did that day. And so I wrote down a bunch of names and just started playing with different character idea names that I had thought of. Now, if we want to go further back in 2015 or before 2015 to 2014, the first story that I had ever written which I made it into a video that I had to take off my channel because it was horrible. There's a reason why nobody's seen it. I have it in my hard drive, but nobody will ever see it. Maybe once I get viral and I get, YouTube famous, maybe I'll release that. But right now, I took it off because of how horrible it was. I don't even remember the character's name that I made. It was, in 1 second. Once again, sorry about that. I'm going to have to restart all that. So, um, like I said, come on in and I'm going to restart what I said because, I messed up. And I'm going to do a real quick recap of what I just said so nobody's missing anything. And so if y'all come in there and be like, "Oh, what did he just say?" Well, relax. I'm gonna repeat everything that I just said. So come on in. Come on in, guys. Grab yourself something to drink. Grab some ice, whatever drink of your choice. Get comfortable because we're about to do story time. So come on in, guys. Come on in. Story time is about to begin. Waiting for my subscribers. So today I'm going to tell you the origin story on how I created J Falcon. So, like I said, 2015 was a rough year for me. I was going through a lot. I was in high school. It was, 2 years before I graduated, I think, because so 15, 16. Right, so 2 years before I graduated, I think it was my junior year, we were tasked. We were given the assignment because I was in a video editing class, and I was given the assignment we were given practices on how to create characters and how to write down names and how to write down stories and stuff like that. So then I went home one day and I was walking down the street trying to figure some stuff out. So I was walking down the street because I used to do that a lot where I used to live. So I was walking down the street, and then I thought about this idea. Oh, and also, if we go further back, by the way, if we go fast forward back to 2014 or 2012, even further back than that, I created this one character that is so horrible that I don't even know where the actual cut of it is. Maybe, like I said before, I'll release it when I get YouTube famous. But yeah, this character was so horrible was so poorly written. All I wanted to do, see, the problem was all I wanted to do was I knew I wanted to make an action movie. And I was inspired a lot. I was inspired a lot by by movies, by action movies like The Expendables, and I knew I wanted to make one of my own. So the character that I created was so bad. It was so bad. I remember writing it one day. I had written like 4 movies for that character, and they were pretty good. I gotta say, I was writing them for the first character. That wasn't J Falcon, by the way. I know it's surprising to some people, but it was not J Falcon. My first character was, oh man, I don't even remember the name of that first character, but my first character, he was a mercenary, and it was like all I'm gonna say is I'm gonna spare the details on how bad it was, because at the time I had no idea how to effectively tell a story. I had no idea how to edit correctly. I had no idea how to work with any of this. I had just got this camera, and I wanted to, and I didn't even have a YouTube channel. That's the thing. I didn't have a YouTube channel, so this was before all this. So I started it in 2015. Like I said, I had to wipe out the entire original character that was not J Falcon. It was so bad I can't even tell you what the character's name was because it's so horrible. But yeah, so fast forward over to 2015, and then I started creating characters again. And then I had come up with this idea of this character. I wrote down J one day. I wrote down the word J, like the name J. And then I started piecing it together. And then somehow I came across the name Falcon, and I put it together. And I said, J Falcon. J Falcon sounds pretty cool. I like that name. So I wrote it down, and I started visualizing him being an agent, or him being a rogue guy turned bad, or like a rogue guy turned good. But yeah, so I'm sitting in class. I write down this name, J Falcon, and I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, what kind of person is J Falcon? Like, what does he have? Like a criminal background? Is he a hitman? There was a movie that had come out at the time. It was called, I think it was my inspiration for this one. And my inspiration for this one was a movie called Bullet to the Head, which is a really good Stallone movie. And so that was kind of like my inspiration for this character. He was going to be a hitman. But unlike anything else, he was a hitman turned good, and he ended up working for the FBI, like permanently getting an agency position for the FBI. And J Falcon was the reason why J Falcon had gotten out of jail was because he was so good at what he did that the FBI looked at it and said, we want this guy. So, but how I created the character, it's even more than me writing down a name. So like I said, I was in high school. I was going through a lot. I think my parents were going through a divorce, and I just felt like writing. since I felt like I couldn't take it out on anyone else at that time, and I just felt like writing. And so that's when the character comes around. And when I first wrote it, I knew I wanted to create this character, J. Falcon, like I've said before. And so I kept writing it down. And one day I came up with a really good story, which is the one that you've found out in, which is the one that y'all have seen, J. Falcon 2015. That was it. And the main significance of J. Falcon 2015, that is what put me on the YouTube maps. And that was going to be my first video, and that was going to be my only video. I wasn't going to make any more content. I wasn't going to do anything else. I was just going to do that and get it famous. And I didn't know if J. Falcon was going to be a success. I didn't know if anything was going to happen to it. I just thought, okay, J. Falcon 2015, I'm going to do this character one time, and I'm going to, leave him laying around. I'm going to hang him up for good. I'm done. Then, after seeing how the response to it was, the year after 2016, I found myself writing J. Falcon 2. And J. Falcon 2 wasn't going to be made either. Because at the time, I felt that J. Falcon 2015 was like I said, a one and done thing. I didn't have any more of his story to tell. And then I started sitting around writing, and I came up with the idea that I should expand Jay's family. Maybe he has a sister. Maybe he has a brother. Originally, J. Falcon was going to have an evil twin that thought that, like an evil brother that thought that Jay was trying to be too good for how he used to be, and he was going to try to be a snob, basically, and his older brother was going to try to take him down. That was originally going to be the thing. But then I changed it because, well, as good as it would have been, I just didn't see it going that way. So I thought for a second, but wait a second, I'm getting ahead of myself here. But the process of 2015 J. Falcon, the first one, I didn't know what kind of movie that I wanted this to be. I didn't know what direction I wanted it to be because I was writing it, and then halfway through, I got the story done, and then halfway through, it just, turned out better than it ever was. But while filming it, I was dealing with a lot of anger back then. And so the character J. Falcon kind of helped me deal with it a little bit more. It helped me write all my energy and aggression into that character, and which is why J. Falcon, the first one, feels like it's got no direction, because I didn't know what kind of movie I wanted it to be. I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know where I was going with it. But then fast forward 2016, J. Falcon 2, I start filming that. J. Falcon 2 turned out to be really good. And then now look at it. We got J. Falcon in the Collided movie, and who knows when we're going to see J. Falcon again. But yeah, that was basically just a backstory for the origins of how I created the character J Falcon, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. If y'all did, leave a like and subscribe if you have not subscribed already. And thank you for your time. And tune in next time for another story time. S.J.F Pro out.